Okay, we're at Sandy Jackson's house. Sandy is a dear friend of Helen and mine that we go back a long way. We went to church together at Cannonsburg Baptist Church for years. Our children were about the same age, and we camped out quite often. On the weekends, we'd go down to Grayson, and then sometimes we'd go to Carter Caves, and then sometimes to Greenbow. And Sandy was noted for her Mexican cornbread. And I remember I had never eaten Mexican cornbread until at the campground one weekend. We were camping, and Sandy came out with a big pan of Mexican cornbread. We had pinto beans and fried potatoes and onions and probably fresh tomatoes. But at any rate, she made a lasting impression on me with her cornbread. So I've asked Sandy if she would to make some Mexican cornbread for us and give us the instructions and the ingredients that goes into it. And this will remain in history on YouTube, and we'll be sending it out to you dear friends to also try to make it like Sandy does. So this is the introduction to this video. Okay, Sandy's getting the ingredients together now, and she just told me that she sets her oven to anywhere from 375 to 400. I think she set it at 400 this morning. Is that correct, Sandy? Yeah. Okay. All right, tell us a little bit about how you make it.
I don't measure anything. I've made it so many times I just don't measure, but I use probably 2.5 cups maybe of cornmeal, or maybe 2, I don't know, and a little bit of self-rising flour, and eggs, and buttermilk, and oil. But the main thing is to get these skillets right. And if you get them real hot, you'll burn them on the bottom.
I might say that she has coated that skillet there you're looking at with bacon grease. Yeah. And the reason for doing that, Sandy, is what?
It makes the bottom crispy, and it adds flavor. The bacon grease goes up into the cornbread and adds flavor to it.
Great.
That's the main thing.
Great.
And I was going to make some little ones there so we could eat them before.
Well, she's got some a cookie sheet there that
and you know what, Helen? I'm going to give you this right here. No, let me tell you something. No. I've got about 3, and this was Don's mom's.
Oh, I'm not taking it.
No, seriously. I want you to have it because it was. I've got a couple more, and that was Don's mom's, and you never wash it unless it gets real crusty or something. Then if you do, you always put just a little bit of oil in it and take a paper towel and wipe it out. Don't wash it and just dry it off. And that way, every time when you make them, they come right out there. And they're a little muffin instead of a big thing cornbread, and they're just as good. They got the same flavor because I use the same mixture.
Yeah.
But I was going to give you that one. I've got 2 or 3 more.
I never use that one now.
I never use them.
Well, I tell you what, I'm going to stop this argument. I'm going to tell Helen we will take it, and we will graciously accept it because that was Don's mother's, and we'll cherish it and use it. Thank you very much for it.
Well, you're welcome.
Okay, now Sandy is taking the muffin pan and putting it in the oven to allow that grease to warm up, and she's also turned on the skillet that on top of the stove there with bacon grease in it to heat it up. And she tells me the reason that you put the bacon grease in the skillet and the muffin pans, if you're making muffins, is so that when you pour the batter down in it, it gives it a golden brown crisp consistency of the bread, and also gives it a better, more flavor. So now she's starting to mix the ingredients together. Sandy, that you're putting in the cornmeal now?
Yeah, but I'm putting in I'd say 3 cups because I'm making more than.
She's going to make more than a normal recipe would be, but she says she's, like she said, she never measures it. She does it all from memory. So she put about 3 cups of cornmeal in there.
And about 1/4 cup of
self-rising flour?
Or half even.
Okay.
About 1/2 cup.
So she's mixing some flour into her cornbread cornmeal mix. I didn't know that happened, but we're getting it from the master today as to how it's done.
Just a little bit of sugar,
All right.
not much. Let's see, I don't
Looks
know
like
much.
about 2 tablespoons full of sugar goes into the batter. She's mixing all that together.
And
The next thing she's going to put in it is pepper flakes. And she's shaking it in there. I guess we don't know, maybe
tablespoon.
tablespoonful of red pepper flakes. And
Let
these
me take that flat thing off.
What's this?
That's jalapeno peppers.
we like hot stuff in our cornbread, so Helen had brought some
You want some in it?
she brought some jalapenos with her. So Sandy didn't normally put jalapenos in hers, but she's willing to put some in for us.
I didn't chop
But
them
in
up
her
or anything.
recipe, she always used, rather than jalapeno pepper, she used red pepper flakes. So this piece of cornbread will be traditionally a little different than her normal bread. It'll have some hot and spicy jalapenos in it.
You don't have pepper in it.
Helen's changing Sandy's recipe on her.
It's okay. It's always good for a change. I'm not gonna put a whole lot in there because I already got the red
This is
pepper.
smoking, does it means
Huh?
your skillet's smoking.
Okay, set it off. Doing it
Set it
again.
back on for me.
Yeah.
I want your smoke detector to go off.
Huh? That's probably enough of them. You don't want to.
Well, we've got the
Yeah.
pepper flakes in it anyway from the heat.
Jalapeno peppers.
Okay, she's getting ready to add some eggs. There goes egg number 1.
Two's on the.
So she uses 2 eggs. And here goes egg number 2. Now back in the days when Sandy was making this cornbread, didn't interest me at all how it was put together, just how good it tasted when we ate it.
And
So
about a quarter of a cup of onions.
1/4 cup of onions she's adding,
Quarter cup.
1/4 cup. So that's been
And
added.
about a quarter cup of green pepper.
1/4 cup of green peppers that's been chopped.
I'll probably use some for some meatloaf.
Pardon?
I said I'll probably use the rest of these for some
There
meatloaf.
you go.
And oil,
Now she's going to add some canola oil.
probably.
Helen, how's that come up?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
There you go.
Probably about 1/4 cup.
1/4 cup of canola oil.
About.
And
Hate to use all your stuff. Don't say that.
she's getting ready to add some good old buttermilk. Buttermilk is good for what else and anything else you want to make. Rather than sweet milk, buttermilk generally works better. We use it on our biscuits too.
I do too.
And Sandy is now mixing all the ingredients that she started with together now in her
Oh, you know what?
mixing bowl.
Cheese. You put cheese.
I forgot it in the refrigerator.
Yeah, we're going to add some cheese to it here in just a minute.
In the top, right in that little, right there. Look at the fresh cut.
Now, is there any particular type cheese that it needs?
I use Colby, usually is what I use,
Okay.
or cheddar.
Colby or cheddar cheese will work.
It's quite a bit of buttermilk. I just mix it until it gets the place I want it.
Are you gonna put the
So altogether,
corn into?
how much buttermilk would you say that?
I probably put that 2 cups.
2 cups approximately. As she's stirring this batter, she's looking for a certain consistency. I know what she's doing.
I'll show it to you in a minute.
And when she gets it the way she wants it, she'll allow me to photograph it.
And some salt and some corn. A bit of salt.
Okay. You can see is what she's using as a
Sprinkle over the top.
sprinkle.
Cover the top of it.
Sprinkle some sodium salt in there,
And
and
probably
finally
got a 1/2 cup of corn.
1/2 cup of cream style
Yeah, well, that's what I use.
corn going in.
Or maybe a cup.
And she's mixing all that down.
Burn your hand.
Now we're getting ready to pour, I think, the ingredients into the hot skillet that she's heated the bacon grease up in. And if you notice the bowl she's mixing this all in has got a little spout there that when she pours it, it'll go right out that little spout, I think, where she's wanting it to go. We'll have to get us one of those bowls like that, Helen. My mother, while we were watching this take place, my mother would make cornbread every night for my daddy. I was raised a coal miner son back in Harlan County, Kentucky. And the grease is going again, Helen. Smoke over there. But at any rate, my mother would make cornbread for my daddy every night, and his meal for supper, for as long as I could remember, was a bowl of cornbread with sweet milk in a bowl. That was his meal. That's all he wanted. So I was raised on that
Yeah,
cornbread.
move it over.
Now, if you look at the consistency
Put that up in first then.
of that bowl, you can see about where it needs to be. So she's going for her muffin pan now. Getting it out and getting it ready to pour some batter into. So now let's watch
Here's the
as she.
batter.
Okay, yeah. Here's the batter mixture, and you can see about what you're looking for right there.
See how it's not real thick.
Mm-hmm.
It's thick enough.
Just,
Okay.
and it'll pour good that way, won't it?
But I'm gonna spoon it in there.
And you can see she's going to spoon it in there because it's pretty heavy. And I think Greg, that's Sandy's oldest son, gave her permission to do this for me only if I would send him a copy of the video that we're making today. And I said, that's a deal. I can remember back in the camping days, we had some wonderful meals out on those picnic tables and those campgrounds. Every family had a different thing that they brought. And
We make a menu up
Yeah.
before we left.
yeah, we had Gary and Marie Crawford was one of the couples, along with Bill and Rita McCoy and Helen and I, Don and Sandy,
Judy and Larry.
Judy and Larry Kitchen, And Sandy just reminded me that someone made a recipe, or not a recipe, but a schedule as to who would bring what to the meal. So we ate it at a common table together.
I cooked it and I cleaned up.
Yeah, Sandy cooked and somebody else cleaned up. That was a good deal.
That's what I hated to do that.
All right, now she's getting ready to put the old big skillet, iron skillet, to work, and she's got that grease really hot, and it's smoked a little bit, but she wants it to really be really hot, because when she pours it down in there, it gives that brown texture or look to the cornbread.
Just a minute till it starts.
She's going to let that get that bacon grease up a little hot again.
I'm trying to clean it.
Okay, we're starting to get a little smoke back on it. Okay, here we go. Hear that sizzle? That's putting that pretty brown texture to the top of the cornbread as it comes out of that skillet after it's cooked. It'll be pretty and dark brown. So as you can see, she had the mixture just about perfect for that skillet.
And then I kind of smear this around a little bit.
Now, Sandy, who taught you how to cook? Did your mama teach you, or did you learn it in school?
Well, my cousin was the first one that ever tasted Mexican cornbread from, but mostly my mom. I didn't cook on it home, but I had her recipes. I cook basically like she does. All of us do.
So as
Will and her kids.
the Owens family was quite large. I'm not sure how many children there were, but I know, Sandy, how many girls was in your family?
Grandkids and all?
No, just in your immediate family.
3 girls and a boy.
3 girls and a boy. And Gary and Wilma and Carol, they're all still living. I think Gary has passed away, hasn't he? Gary's the only one out of the family has passed away. And we've all got a foot in the ground. She's right. We're up at the age that one day we'll leave this old world, and maybe we'll go as the church goes up. We won't even have to go to the grave. That's possible, isn't it? Well, I tell you what, she's got it in the oven, so we're going to turn this video off, and we're going to go in and sit down until the cornbread comes out. Okay, Sandy has just taken the cornbread out of the oven, and I think we could probably say that the oven, the bread was in there for 40 to 50 minutes, I'm going to guess. And there's the muffins, and we've already sampled some of those muffins, and they were delicious. So this is what your cornbread will look like when you pull it out of the oven. And she's getting ready, I think, to flip it out of the oven, or she's got to let it cool. I'm not sure. Sandy, is it?
I'm going to flip it on a plate.
She's going to flip it over onto a plate, so we want to watch how she does that and see what it looked like on the bottom side. She also told me a little while ago that she sometimes will take cheddar cheese and sprinkle on top of the batter before she put it in the oven, which gives it a little bit more cheesy taste maybe on the bottom. So this is how you do it right here.
This is hard.
Can I hold it and do it for you?
Yeah.
Helen, you film me there. And that orange skillet is really heavy, I know. So.
Is it filming?
Yeah, it's filming.
Just turn it over and let it sit there. It's hot.
I gotta hold the hot.
There it is.
There's what it looks like. Isn't that beautiful? Sandy, you're a star.
No. thought.
All right. That is Mexican cornbread prepared from start to finish by Sandy Jackson. And we're going to take it home and eat it. So hope yours all turns out as good as this does. See you later.